Khang.
What up, Wholesale 2 Million family?
Hey.
Man, I'm ready. Woo! Dude, you guys, listen, this episode will be crazy and it'll be different than my rest. Because in front of me, what I have here, you guys, is two college students, all right, did 170 G's in their first years of wholesaling. Boom!
Man.
So what it is I'm gonna have them introduce themselves, tell you guys the stories. I want them to basically tell a little bit on their first wholesale deal, and obviously how they got into 170K, right, a year on their first year of wholesaling. But for everyone that are listening, if you're in your 20s, the millennial, you're in your college stage or whatever it is, man, dropping out, maybe you just graduated. I want this to be a motivation for you, that it is possible, that you don't have to tell yourself, hey, maybe I'm too young for this shit, and for all your boomer out there, including me, in your 30s, 40s, 50s, I want you to use this as a motivation and saying, man, if JP and Gino here can do it, then why can't I? If it's not now, then when? And if it's not you, then who? Come on, man. Shit. Let's go get this money.
Yeah.
For every one of you who's new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale 2 Million family. Please smash the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, you get notified. But no further ado, let's jump into the interview. Gino and JP.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go. And the thing is, before I let them tell their stories, listen, JP here is a superstar. JP is a superstar. JP, tell them your movie. It's crazy. It's on Amazon.
Oh, man. Khang's my biggest supporter, guys. The movie is Full Count, faith-based movie, and you can get it at Walmart right now. Amazon Prime. Khang, where'd you watch it? Amazon Prime?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. Right on Amazon. There you guys.
You can rent it on YouTube.
Yep. Also. And listen, when JP, so I have the pleasure to meet Gino and JP at We Life 19, and then at the 100K Club Conference in Las Vegas. And man, I'm telling you, their energy, their ambitions is so inspiring, right? And JP tell me, hey, Khang, or actually Gino said, hey, JP have a movie. I said, what? There's a movie? Dude. Am I talking to a celebrity? And then
no, not yet. I got a long way to go, Khang. I got a long way to go.
Hey, and we build really good connection and relationship. Lon and I love these two guys, man. So, anyways,
we love you, Khang.
Hey, thank you, man. Why don't you guys introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your guys' stories and how you end up doing this together.
All right, I guess I'll go first. Basically, me and John Paul have been doing things since we were 15 together, business-wise. We know each other since we were 8 on the baseball team. We used to call him Goldilocks. He had long hair.
Yeah.
But true. I mean, we've been doing flipping stuff on eBay. Every like a typical entrepreneur. We started all the way from eBay, selling stuff from China to
Ross, going to Goodwill, Ross. Yeah.
Refrigerator flipping a year before wholesaling. That's pretty much what we were doing. Now, then we started I found wholesaling in like October 2018, end of October by like Halloween. And then that's when we started getting the business. I took John Paul. John Paul was filming that movie that you saw. He was filming it while we were doing it. And I brought him. I was like, yo, look what I just figured out. I showed him with the concept of wholesale. I said, we got our new business, that idea. And so then it went from there. Now we actually did Khang. I just checked because we got another couple checks, man. We're over 200 now on the year. Oh, because of King Kong.
Because of King Kong selling square, baby.
All right. So, JP, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, man.
All right. Yeah. So same with Gino. I started, entrepreneurs type stuff when I was about 6th grade. I started selling going to like Plato's Closet, Ross, selling shoes, flipping them on eBay. Bought like charging cords from China and would like buy like 100 or 200 of them and then, sell them on eBay. Gino did the same with headphones. Did that, started up, played sports, and then after sports, got into acting, of course. And I do that, acting and wholesaling. Those are my main big things right now.
So at one point, John Paul, we were doing acting, college, and wholesaling. And now I just do college and wholesaling, but we're full-time college students too.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Wow.
It's a mess. But yeah, then did garage sale flipping, estate sale flipping.
Yeah, that was
big on.
key.
That was really big because that was how we made money one summer. We just did that every weekend, just buy junk and then flip it. And then so then got into wholesaling. Gino brought me in about 1 or 2 weeks after he found out. Yeah. And then we just been going strong since, trying to find our niche.
Wow. Okay. So for everyone that's listening here, JP and Gino are like that young entrepreneur stories like Gary Vee or maybe Grant or you know what? Like these kind of stories that I know that people that have that entrepreneur spirits when they were little, like flipping things or getting into business, dude, man, I'm telling you, you guys are going to get way far ahead of me. Like you guys going to because of those things, like I just felt like those kind of pattern, right? That you have that entrepreneur spirit when you were like super young. Most kids don't. Like, for example, and I don't want to discourage any one of you that's watching because I wasn't, right? Dude, at the age of 9, I was out in the field picking berries, and I have the employee mindset, right? The employee mindset throughout my life until I met the wife, and then so things started to change. So don't, like, for those of you who listen to JP and Gino who said, oh man, maybe I don't have that in me. No, man, dude, if you have to hustle, you're willing to you have to hustle, and you don't want to work for someone, you want to create, dude, you have the will, there will be a way. Okay. So, but what I'm saying here is JP and Gino have that entrepreneur that I've seen in other people that have made it big. So, dude, I didn't know that. Wow, bro.
You still have that work ethic growing up though, Khang.
Yeah.
It was always been there for you.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's the one thing that I gotta thank my parent, dude. The only thing that they ingrained in me is I gotta work for what I want, and they work me, bro.
Heck yes.
They child slaved me since I was a kid, bro.
Hey, whatever works.
It worked for you.
Yeah. So now, okay, so you guys are still doing full-time college, right?
Yep. I took this semester off because I was filming another movie down in Florida. So I took this semester off, but I'm debating what I'm going to do now. So could be going back, could be taking another one off. We'll see.
You know what?
I'm the one that's full-time, but JP, because JP just took this one off this semester. So last 2 months, 3 months.
Gotcha. Now, before I let you guys go into your first wholesale deal, I just want to ask, so what would be your guys' plan for
what?
Are you guys going to really continue and grow this wholesaling business? Or what is kind of the future will look like for you guys? Like, what's your plan?
Definitely looking to scale, because right now we don't really have too many, VAs, not that big of a team. So we're trying to really grow our team. Because for the most part, it was just Gino and I,
for 6 months.
Yeah, it was just grinding, months. Just Gino and I doing stuff. And then eventually we, hired a VA, and then we had a, lead manager, and then trying to grow and grow. So yeah,
we're trying to scale it to where the point where we don't have to work inside the business, but on the business,
Sure.
So we're trying to get it to, I got to get an acquisition manager. I got to replace me, disposition for John Paul. That way we're out of the business and just can focus on working, on the business, not in the business,
Gotcha. Okay. So
but yeah, our goal is to keep going.
Gotcha. Okay.
Scale it.
So let me ask you then what, okay, so you guys want to keep growing and scale it, and then basically remove yourself. So you work a few hours on it and continue your college. Is that what it is? Yeah,
my parents, have to stay in. They're not letting me get out of it. So
hey, if it's free, you got to stay.
Yeah, I've got lucky with my parents and they're some scholarships. So yeah, right now I'm honing in, my schooling, I shouldn't be doing it, but my work's my first priority. So, and even in classes, I'm working on sending lead Sherpa text, all that stuff, So no plug to lead Sherpa, but I'm in sending text. So I'm just going hard 24/7. So eventually we want to get to the point where, you know, put it on autopilot and let it go itself, you know?
So let me ask you guys both this. For all the millennials that are watching or in the stage of going to college and starting their own business or getting into wholesaling or getting into real estate or maybe just another, like, so what's you guys' take on that?
Hit it up.
Well, I guess you have to believe in what you're doing. Like Gino and I could both agree that, you know, we believe in this process. We know it works. We've seen so many people like yourself and others so successful in it. So we know it works. It's just a matter of finding out what works best for us and then really hitting it and sticking to that, you know, whatever works to us and just trying to grow. Anyone could do it. It's just a matter of consistency and luck.
Yeah, you gotta have some where you gotta believe in yourself first. If you don't believe in yourself, anytime, like I know we had our first deal we'll get into in like a month or a couple of weeks even. And so a lot of some people have to take 9 months, years to get.
It took you 6 months, didn't like it takes everyone different.
Yep.
So you got to keep going. Some people that are just doing it for the money, after 3 months of going hard, they're going to quit, you know? And you just got to keep going. Like we've had our difficulties. We've gone months without getting deals and stuff, and then we're sitting, but we know that you got to trust the process. So full in. But in terms of these kids that, you know, people are doing school and stuff, you know, if you like it enough, you'll do it because, you know, we still go, you know, work out every day. We still, you know, eat every day. We still do everything anyone else does, but we just fit time. Like Gary Vee sometimes mentions, you know, you always have time to work on your business. If you want to work on your business, you have to want to believe in yourself and to reach that next level.
Gotcha. Okay. So now so why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your first wholesale deal? Like how you guys got it and all of that.
Hit it up, JP.
All right, well, Gino bought the first batch of bandit signs. That was the first marketing strategy.
Okay, hold on a second. Now, before that, when did you got into the whole game and really started hard?
We haven't started hard since January. That's January this year is when we started hard. Our first deal, though, was in November of 2018.
Gotcha.
So when we actually went full in doing it in terms of spending a lot of hours a day.
I got you. So so November 18th, and then how long did it took you to do your first deal?
So we got first batch of bandit signs was like October 20th. I remember getting in the mail, and then we put them out for like a week straight. And it was that first batch we got a deal.
Lucky hit.
It was a good deal. It was a 10-gram deal off a bandit sign. And at first, when we went to the appointment, this is something John we could explain is. We went in there thinking that we used a 70% ARV minus repairs. Well, we were in a hot area of our place, and the ARV was 360. So we thought the ARV was only 320, but we turned out the flipper sold it for 360. So we did the 0.7, and our offer would have been around like 150 something, 170. And the guy said, heck no.
We told we couldn't do it. Sorry.
And so we left him like after a week. This was literally a weekend, like we could have closed this deal. And then after like a week or two, I call him back and because I look at the numbers, I say, someone can still make 70 grand or 60 grand on the flip because it was like 50 grand in repairs. And I call him back and this same time I'm calling buyers and I'm just trying to build our buyers list, even though we don't have a deal. And I tell them, I do have one kind of a deal in Marietta. I explain it. One guy said, meet me out there tomorrow. I'll sign the deal for 210. And we got it at 200. So I go like the next day, this is a funny story. The next day, before, we don't even have it locked up, I go like really early. I tell the seller, hey, I'll do it for 200 now. That's what he told us the lowest he would go. I know we were offering 170 at first. And so I was like, oh, shoot. So we get there, we get him to sign something for 200. He wants a 2-week closing period with like a 2-day due diligence. Now imagine that, your first deal, he wants a 2-week closing. He knows like what wholesalers are. He was fine with us wholesaling because he knew what we were doing.
Yeah, he knew exactly.
But he's like, yeah, the seller did. So he's like, we're only going to give you a 2-day due diligence, 2-week close. Well, luckily I already had that buyer coming in. So I signed the contract at 12 p.m. Literally at like 1 p.m., the buyer came in. The buyer came in, looked at it. We were asking 215, and he came back and said, will you do 210? And obviously we were excited as can be. Said, yes, we'll take 210. We closed in 1 week. It was like November 1st. We signed the contract. November 8th, it was gone. We closed on it. So 1 week. We closed on that property.
Wow. Okay. So now let me ask you, because I really want people to know the time frame and the process. When did you, discover wholesaling?
So wholesaling, like I said, it was when I first even just saw my first video, it would be like September 28th or so. It was like right at the end. But when I fully went into the process in terms of, I bought my bandit signs, like I told you, like October 20th is when I received them. So I bought them probably like the 15th. Again, we'll go into the processes. October 15th is when I bought them.
Okay,
right?
hold on.
Got them.
Okay.
Got them like, go ahead, Khang.
Okay, so late September is when you discover the ideas of wholesaling.
Yeah.
Start watching it. October 15th, took action and bought bandit sign. How many bandit sign?
100.
100 bandit sign. Okay, hold on a second. Everybody probably want to know what size is the bandit sign.
18 by 24.
18 by 24. And what do you what do you put on the bandit sign?
Just we buy houses. I got the logo from, and here's another plug, Dirt Cheap Signs. I saw it on one of Maxwell's videos, Maxwell. That's who started it. So I just took action. That's the other thing. You know, some people just analyze, paralysis analysis. As soon as I saw that, I clicked. I said, buy it. You know, it was a $200 investment. I think it's literally $180 with shipping investment.
Gotcha. Okay. So got it. Okay. So you got the 100 bandit sign, and after that, do you put up all 100 of them to get that first deal, or what?
I think over the course we did, yeah. So we started putting them out the 20th. We did like 2 days back to back, putting them out. So I think we did like one day, then we skip another day, put it out. I don't think we had them all put out though when we got the contract. It was over, a year. I think we still had some left over. So we probably put out, again, like I said, we got pretty lucky on this deal. He saw it right away too. It was at a mall. We put this one out.
Okay. Gotcha.
It was right at a mall. It was during Halloween time is getting closer to Christmas. I mean, it was a lot of people at this mall that we put it at. So.
Gotcha. So now, Gino, do you know roughly how much or how many bandit sign do you guys put out at that time?
In terms of, that was my first. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, like, do you put out 10 or 20 bandit signs?
Oh, like a night. We do like 30.
Oh, no, by then we had at least like 80 out, probably, I would say. It was at least a fourth done.
Okay.
It was at least, 3/4 done.
Every night we do like 30, 20.
Yeah, now
30.
we do. Yeah. Every night we probably hit like 20, 30 each night. And like I said, we did it like 2 nights.
Dang. Yeah. And those of you who listen here, dude, nothing is easy. Putting up bandit sign, it's not easy at all. Like now,
you gotta watch out 12.
Yeah, man, because I know some places you got to put them on a Friday, take them off on a Sunday or something like that. Is that the same for you guys, or can you guys put it up year round?
I mean, literally, like we got calls, like so we kept, like I said, we got that deal in November, and then we didn't really go into it again until January because of finals, school, whatever it was, vacation. So we went January, and we got so many calls from police officers taking it down. Like we put in like an historic city, and like the next day we put like 30 there. They said we'll give you like a $500 fine for each one.
And we're pretty reckless though, because we're putting it on like government like signs.
Stop signs.
When we first started, that's what we were doing. We were just zip tying into all the signs, and then we realized over time that it's best to put it on private property, like Publix's or
shopping centers,
like Home Depots. Like that's a lot more safer than government owned property.
Yeah, because they can get you. Public property, they'll get you. But like you said, I figured out and we looked at it. I mean, they can't go onto private property. Technically, like some shopping centers or they are owned privately. So you can put them on different signs in there. Malls. Some of those are privately owned. Some of those spots.
We got busted by a mall cop.
Yeah, John Paul got busted by a mall cop one time
on his Segway coming over.
He got John Paul.
Man, you guys are just ruthless, huh? Okay, so basically, you guys saw that, hey, it's the holidays. Everybody's going to go, which is very smart of you guys. So you went and put some sign, and that's where you guys got your lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't really thinking, to be honest, Khang, about like all that holiday stuff. We just knew that mall, I mean, we put them everywhere, but we thought, the mall would be a good area. And then he told us that's where he found it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to talk about, so basically the seller calls you. Right now, when the seller calls you, do you guys go through the numbers on the phone, or you set an appointment to go out and meet the seller right away?
So I'll tell you a little bit because he called my number. So what happened? We actually got really lucky. He's built he's a developer really, but he said, he called me up and he said, Gino, or when I talked to him, he said, what are you guys trying to make per deal? What is your discount you're trying to make? He said, not per deal, like wholesale. He said, what kind of discount do you take? off your properties. I said, I don't really, this is my first, I said like 30%. He said, okay, done. He said, we agreed that it's worth like we got lucky as can be. It was like, he said it was worth like 315, 310. We agreed on that, like fixed up. So he said 30% minus that is, 200,000. That's where it came out to be, like 210. And he said he can go to 200,000. No one was living there. He already moved into a new house he just built, and it's vacant. So like, obviously no one's living there. So he was somewhat really motivated. He took that right off the top. But I thought, oh shoot, 30%, and we still got it minus repairs, And I was like, oh, it's not really a deal. But we still went on the appointment.
Okay.
Saw the house needed, so we didn't know what we were doing. we didn't know what we were doing. We're just looking around like, just
we're like, kicking things, saying that it needs to be.
Not what you're supposed to be doing.
The guy took us under the
crawl space.
Took us to the crawl space. We're just like, looking around. Yeah,
point at things.
Dude, so listen, dude, so basically you guys were just like me. Dude, when I first went to my appointment and the seller said, hey, do you want to look at the crawl space? And I looked at him, I like, crawl space? Like, dude, I didn't know what a crawl space is. No, seriously. See, when I got into real estate, I know no construction term.
Man.
So I didn't know what a crawl space is. He's like, you want to check out the crawl space? And I say, well, you know what? Well, I'm here, right? My job is to look at. So I just, dude, JP, whatever you just said, bro, I just went around, looked at this and knocked on the wall.
Yeah.
And, acting like I know what I was doing, but I didn't know shit, dude. The only thing that was going in my head was I calculate the numbers, and the only thing was going on in my head was like, oh my God, I got to get this at a low price. I got to get this at a low price, right? Because, like, I wasn't paying attention to the conversation.
Man.
The only thing that was going in my head is, I got to get this deal. I got to get this deal, right?
Oh, man.
So now, next thing I wanted, so basically the seller calls you and already know that you guys are wholesaler.
Pretty much. He had a good idea, that we're really discounted. At that time, I don't think he knew we were wholesaling it exactly, but he knew that what a flipper's trying to make, So that's why he said 30%, what are you trying to make per flip or whatever? We said 30%. He discounted that immediately. And then, whatever that brought us to like 210, he said he could go to 200. But we still thought we had to put 50,000 repairs into it. So that's why our offer was like at 160, 170.
Yeah, it was like 170.
Okay, so gotcha. So at this time when you guys on the phone with the seller, the price of being thrown around at around 200,000.
Yeah.
So you figure, hey, you know what? You guys still got to be lower than that, but you know what? Let's go on the appointment.
Yeah.
So you and Gino, or Gino, you and JP both went out to the appointment?
Yeah.
Okay. So now at the appointment, man, we'll walk me through the appointment, and how do you guys figure out, like, I guess you guys don't have any kind of construction background, do you?
No.
So, okay. So tell me, how do you estimate the repair to be $50K?
For that first deal or for what we do now?
For the first deal.
For the first deal.
Oh, well, the first deal we just saw, it was so outdated. The siding was, there's so much needed to be done. Windows all needed to be replaced. There was like the front porch, the brick was like melting when you stepped on it. It was like,
it was like it was all. How we really did it is that I just looked at some of these Facebook groups and see how they calculate per square footage.
Yeah.
And I forgot the exact numbers, but we just saw that it needed to be completely gutted, redone. And it was like I think a 2,000 square foot home or 17, roof. 15, roof and all that. So I just used like Facebook groups, researching, I didn't let it get in my way. I just try to figure out an estimate. Like you said, we didn't know what we were.
Yeah, it's a little ballpark. And it ended up being just what
he's like, the flipper that came out said I was like $5,000 off. I had like 50.
Okay. So now, so 2,000 square feet, and how many bedroom and bathroom?
I believe it was a 3, 2.5.
Okay.
3, 2.5.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay. So 3, 2.5, and it needs everything: roof, windows, siding, electrical, plumbing, update kitchen, bathroom, flooring, paint, all of that.
I don't know about like electrical and plumbing, but I know it needed
all the others.
All the other stuff.
Okay.
It was just outdated.
And really. Driveway was so messed up. The driveway was like a mountain.
Got it. Okay. I got you. So, okay. Now, what do you guys use for repair now?
So basically we have a friend that our flipper we work with now a lot, and he like tells us basically, you know, ballpark ranges on like some things, like in terms of roof side. We still do estimates. We're still not for sure. But like if I look at a home and I see it's a 1,500 square foot home and it's been built in 1960s, I know it's going to need, you know, 40 to 50,000 off the top. I already know, you know. And so we ask questions about roof and things like that. But we still just use off just our knowledge now of knowing, you know, after all the deals, how much the flippers.
Gotcha.
You know, what they're looking.
Right. So I got you. So basically, you guys don't have like a price of square footage that you use. It's just based off of experience, right?
Yeah. Because some areas, you know, some areas people want to do nicer homes, so you got to put in bigger, so kind of like higher square footage sold and all. So like we just look at, okay, this area is in this city, it's going to be a big rehab, you know, and it's expensive stuff, so we add another 10 grand or whatever it is, 10 to 15.
That's okay. Yep. And that is exactly how I do it too. So I don't have like a price per square footage. It's just over experience. Like just looking at things, I just know, hey, a kitchen will cost you around between that 7,000-8,000. If you put on, I mean, you know, 7,000-10,000, depending on how big the kitchen is, right?
Yeah, bathrooms.
If it's a big kitchen, it's probably going to be about 10,000. You're talking about granite countertop, stainless steel, plineless, new cabinets, sink, like all of that. Okay. So that's a 3, 2.5, 50. Okay. So now so at the time you guys went out and meet the seller, no contract was signed, right?
First time, no.
Nope, no contract was signed because we didn't think it was a deal. Yeah.
Gotcha. No. So, but when you were there, what price did you got the seller to came down to?
No. So really, when we first went there, the seller was at that 210, and then when we went on the appointment, that's when we got him. Like, could you at least work to, like we said 175. He said I can go to 200 at the lowest. Yeah. And we're like, oh shoot. Well, I said, and he understood. I was like, a deal. I mean, if it can't happen, it can't happen. I'm sorry. You know, he's like, I understand it's business, you know, numbers don't work. He wasn't mad, frustrated. And I didn't know negotiation skills back then either. So we just said, okay.
We're like, how about 180? Something like that. We just kept going down, even though it's like, can you do 180, please?
Yeah. We didn't know. We were so used to just working garage sales and estate sales. So we were not pressured in on the big houses.
Right. Hey, dude. So you guys pretty much did. I mean, can you drop another $3?
I know. That's basically
so now tell me. So after you guys made an offer, obviously there's none. So now you left. How do you guys find the cash buyer, or did you at the time already build up your cash buyer list at the same time? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you found the cash buyer for that.
Yeah. So we didn't have no cash buyers, but like a week later, so we went on a Friday. On our first appointment. Then on the next Friday, I remember I called up. I was calling buyers. And what I did is just bought a list from List Source. Same thing Max Maxwell said to do.
99.
You know, 99% to 100%. He has a good video on that, buyer's list hack or whatever. And so I bought, you know, and got LOCs. What I did with the LOCs is I just, you know, went on the Secretary of State site, got the agent, skip traced it like everyone does. And then I just cold called hundreds of them and finally found the one. And again, I called him up, and as soon as I told him about the details, he's like, no, I don't. Before I told him, he's like, oh, we're good. We already have like 5 flips going on. He's like, just tell me the details. I told him we're at one of the best high schools in Georgia. I told him we're at, and he said, okay, let me come see it tomorrow. Because I told him the price and numbers. He was excited. So he said, let me come see it tomorrow. Again, this is a week after our first appointment, that Friday, a week after.
Okay.
And then, we go Saturday morning. I tell the seller, can we meet you at the property? We're ready to sign something for 200. And I didn't even know for sure if he was going to get it, but I signed it at 200 at 12 p.m. And then at 1 p.m., like literally right after us, the seller was there on the appointment with the buyer too. So
it was funny.
We were like nervous as can be. And he's like, we may have built rapport with the cash buyer too enough where he's like, I won't say anything. You know, he's like, I'll be cool. I've done this before. And he goes, inspects the property, and he says, okay, he can do it at 210. Right. The seller was like literally like, 50 feet. John Paul was distracting the seller while I was talking with the buyer. That's how it went.
It's so funny because there was like some weird thing about like mud floors, you know?
Yeah.
There's
mud
like
floors,
those mud flooring tiles. And he was like making a big deal. The seller was saying how much of a hassle it's going to be. So
our buyer.
So me and Gino were like, I hope he doesn't say anything. So the first thing he says when he walks in is, the mud floors. And we're like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah. Because he told us first, and we were hoping he was, like John said, we're hoping he wasn't going to tell the buyer like all about this. He made like a 30-minute rant about it. Like, they're so hard to get the mud flooring up. And then the first thing he says to our buyer is,
I got you. Yeah. So you guys are worrying about the seller's going to kill the deal because
Yeah. But it ended up working, so it was good.
Gotcha. So, dude, teamwork is what makes the dream work.
Yeah,
JP is over there. JP's over there, talking to
about
the seller,
Christmas,
and trying to work his charm. And Gino's over here working on the buyers.
That's how it worked. We're on the same driveway. I was at the top of the driveway, and John Paul was at the bottom of the car with the guy, like talking through the back seat or the trunk.
Yeah, the seller kept trying to walk over there, and hey, so what about this right here, the side creek? What does that lead into?
That's hustling right there, man. So now, okay. So so you went on ListSource, pull a list of cash buyer.
Mm-hmm.
You went 6 months, 12 months back.
12 months.
Okay, so you guys went 12 months back with any cash transactions that happens, right?
Yeah, we only did corporations, so we excluded everything else but just corporations, because LLCs are buying homes,
Sure.
99 to 100% equity, and then absentee, I believe.
Yeah, because they're not.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you guys 99 to 100, so basically bought it out, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So you guys eliminate all the personal name, just LLC, right? Because you guys figure fix and flip. Okay, got it. Now, for those of you who wants to go and pull that list, here's the options. You can either be like JP and Gino, go to listsource.com, right? They don't charge a monthly fee. You can go on there. You can pull the list and pay per name, skip trace, and cold call your buyers. Or you can use the link that I'm going to put below. You go trial.propstreams.com/WTM. PropStream is absolutely amazing. We used to use ListSource. We don't use them anymore. We now use PropStreams, and PropStream can do the exact same thing, but even more. Dude, the site, it's crazy. So I actually just talked to someone on PropStreams. They can actually show you more about the whole cash buyers and the list and all of that. So you guys want to go there and go to PropStreams now. You pay them $97 a month, but you can pull up to 10,000 names for free. So you can so they charge a monthly fee of $97, but you can actually pull up to 10,000 names for free. Imagine pulling 10,000 names, right, every quarter on list, dude. It's gonna add up. So that's your choice. Now, so when JP and Gino pull the cash buyer, they pull absentee owner because fix and flipper, they're not gonna live there. Okay, so absentee, 99% to 100%, okay. So for those of you who's watching, and then you gonna go skip trace and call these. Now I want to ask you this: is how many person did you off of that? How many? Do you know how big the list is?
Yeah, it was like 150 people.
Okay, and
Small.
how many? Okay, and how many people did you talk to come across that buyer?
I would, to be honest with you, it was such a long time, but I would give you a good estimate about it because it was actually really good. I called like 10 people, and he was one of the 10.
Got it.
And I called at 6 p.m. They all were home. They all answered. I used White Pages Premium to skip trace that back then, and I'll give you all the stuff. And I mean, all of them answered. I had another guy interested too, but he wasn't going to be able to come out to the next day, and so too late. Yeah, I just locked it up.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
we only had that small due diligence period, so literally it was 1 day, 2 day due diligence. So one day I signed it. I said, "Let's go. Let's get it." Once they offered our price, I don't want to wait any longer.
I got you. Okay, so Gino, when you get on the phone with your buyer, you now, even though you don't have it under contract, you told your buyer about the deal anyways, just to see if he's interested. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So I just told him. I told him like, yeah, this is like. I told this guy because he was a flipper what we were trying to do, and like, obviously it's our first wholesale deal, blah blah blah, and he was like, okay, he asked if we had it under contract. I told him not yet, but we have our price and everything set. And, you know, usually you're not supposed to do that. You know, we didn't know what we were doing, you know, at first. So he told him, he understood us. He knew, like, I built a rapport with him, just told him about things, you know, how many are you flipping, this and that, told him what we're doing, told him what deal. And after that, he trusted us enough. He was like, okay, I can come this time, you know, tomorrow. And we scheduled before that, you know, for the seller. But, you know, I just call him up and say, hey, you know, is this Ryan with, you know, We Buy Houses, ATL or whatever. And, you know, they answer. And I like talking to buyers. It was actually pretty easy for us to build our buyers list up pretty quick.
Gotcha.
You know?
Well, the thing is, you know, this buyer is really cool. He understands you guys don't have it under contract. Exactly. You know, some buyers will try to go behind your back and say, yeah, you know what, I'm not interested. And all of a sudden the next day they came out there with their, you know, came out there and start talking to the seller. So you guys gave him the address and everything on the property.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave him the address.
Okay, you guys gave the address. Now, do you guys give him a price, or do you guys tell him to go check it out and give you guys a price?
I told him to give a price. I said like $215. And
okay,
how I got that is I just wanted to make a 10 grand fee, and I just added 5 on top for negotiation, you know. That's basically really all I did.
Got it. Okay. So at this time, you figure that seller's going to be at 200. Okay, so 215.
Yeah, I knew the seller's at 200, 100%, because we talked to him, and I knew 100% he was still out there. There was still a chance that he found someone else. So again, first deal, we got lucky. It was risky. You know, he could have. I didn't call him again until like right after the cash buyer and said, I want to set up something, you know, an hour beforehand. Obviously, I didn't tell him. I told him 12. The buyer came at 1.
Gotcha. Okay. So now, how much do you guys have the buyer put as a non-refundable deposit?
So we first put 100. We put $100, and
Wait, Gino, you
put the buyer.
Yeah. So okay, so you put $100 earnest money between you and the seller.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the buyer, he put 500 because he said he wanted to make like he wrote us a check to our name for 500. And you know, now we just tell him bring him to the attorney's office, but they wrote it to our name. So we're like, okay. He's like, we'll do 1,500 at any other deals, but this one, it's our first deal, 500. So we're still pretty happy about that. You know, we're like, okay, we got 500. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I know that Gino and JP right now are a pro. So, but for those of you who's listening, what you want to do is you want to get the buyer to drop off a very large, right? The more the merrier. And just like Gino just mentioned, you know, you don't want them to put it in your name. It's supposed to be made out to the title company or that attorney or whatever it is, and they're supposed to drop it off there. All right, but it's non-refundable. So once they drop it off, if they don't close on the deal, the title company, it's just to keep track of, you know, the trail of all the paperwork, you know. So don't have them make out to your name, make it out to make it out to the title company. And then if they don't close, the title company or that attorney will write you a cashier check and then release that funds to you. Okay. So awesome, man. And obviously closing in what, like 5 days or 7 days? Is that what
7 days. So again, it was that Friday where we called the seller back and told him. So it was really, I guess, 6 days, but we got it locked up on Saturday. Couldn't bring it to the closing attorney until Friday or closed. But she was like, we told her it was the nicest lady. I just dropped her off some gifts for Christmas. You know, that's what we use all the time. It's our nicest lady. And she rushed it. It was our first deal and she rushed it. And I guess because we had all the documents, we had assignment contract already there, purchase and sale, earnest money, non-refundables. So she was ready. She rushed it. We got the title clean, closed Friday.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah. Thank the Lord.
Well, you guys, man, first, dude, I want to say congrats. And once again, Gino and JP, dude, you guys inspire me so much, man, because because knowing that you guys got to go to college, your age, you know, there's a lot of, you know, kids that at your age are out having fun partying, but you guys are just completely different. And I have so much respect for you guys, man, honestly.
Thank you,
Khang. Thank you, Khang.
So yeah, man. So now let's talk about where your business is at right now.
Okay, John Paul, you can tell them about our layout.
So let's see. Definitely trying to scale, of course. Gino, acquisition, and then I'll run disposition.
2 VAs, cold calling.
2 VAs. We'll monitor. We need Lane's help with our VAs.
Lon,
yeah.
We need Lon's help with our VAs.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Because we got 2 we cold call. We trained them pretty good, and we're still training them. And then we got 1 lead manager that takes in incoming calls and then filters all our leads now. And then we got one.
Okay, so hold on a second. You guys get 2 VA that's cold calling. One that's one is the lead manager, which is filtering all the leads.
No, we got 2. So there's 2 cold callers. Okay. One's just a cold caller. One does our admin work and cold calling. Then we have another. So we have 3 VAs. And we got another one that does lead management total.
Got it. Okay.
And then
okay.
1 Sherpa person. 1 Sherpa.
One American Sherpa.
Yeah.
So they understand how to communicate. Text.
I gotcha. Okay. Got it.
And then we have people that'll go out boots on the ground. Little stuff like that.
If we don't want to go, like sometimes we kind of like you do. You virtual. Sometimes you virtual in your own market. Like if I'm live Atlanta, traffic's terrible. So if I'm across town, I'll just tell my buddy that's over here. I'll pay you $50. Go take pictures of the property. We usually lock everything up on the phone, which we can talk about later. But that's what we did. That's what we do too. That's part of our team sometimes. Very little, but it does happen.
Gotcha. So now, JP and Gino, now how much are you spending on marketing per month now?
So marketing per month, I handle that department. I'm one with the marketing. It's about $7,000 all in all. Marketing wise, $5,000 with all our VA costs, overhead. It's about $2,000 more. So it's about $7,000.
Okay, so now I'm not going to talk about employee costs. So $5,000 in marketing, dude, that's pretty good. For $5,000 in marketing, so that's how much a year?
60,000.
Okay, 60,000 to make 170, dude. Okay, to make 170, man, that's pretty good. Okay, so now, what are you guys doing in marketing? So what are you spending that $5K on, Gino?
So $5K on is Sherpa.
Okay.
Lead Sherpa.
Sherpa.
All the list source leads, we get I would say about 10,000 a month now.
Okay.
Right. And then we do lead Sherpa, that
bandit signs.
Yeah, still some bandit signs.
Okay.
And then we also hit we got our Zen call, which is our dialer, which is about $200 a month after you have 2 members.
Okay.
Then as well as, RVMs. I mean, we do it all pretty much.
We tried Deal Machine, and
we didn't have much success at Deal Machine.
It wasn't as much success. Yeah, we couldn't because we couldn't. It was hard for us to find deal finders, honestly. So if we were to find some dedicated deal finders,
it's hard to do for us.
Like the Polites, they do Deal Machine.
Yeah, well, the thing is, have you guys ever considered trying to ask some Uber guy to do it?
Yeah, I did. I had some Uber guys, but I think what screwed it for me is that I tried to pay them commission. So they got really not incentivized. They were like, I tried to incentivize them, like, okay, you get $1,000 a deal, but I got like 30 people join our team, but only one added 5 properties. That's it.
Got it. Okay.
So it wasn't that much, but I mean,
we used to D for D. That's all we did.
We did at first.
That's all we did, but we didn't have luck with it. I mean, I'm sure if we stayed consistent with it, we would have, but we found that bandit signs worked a little better for us, so we stuck to that, and cold calling and D for D just didn't work for us.
Sure. So now, hey, you guys, we are running out of time, but quick, I got a couple more things. So now, do you guys have people go out and take pictures?
Occasionally, yes.
Got it. Okay, so Gino and JP, do you guys know about WeGoLook.com?
No.
Okay, dude.
I think I've heard you mention it. I've heard you mention it, but
yes, bro. Okay, so WeGoLook.com. Call them up. They only work with companies, which is LLC. They don't work with individuals. So if you don't have an LLC and you do not say that you're new, you just tell. Obviously, you guys have done a lot of deals, so which is not a problem for you guys. But everyone that's listening, listen, man. I'm gonna give you guys. So go to WeGoLook.com, man. So you can be in any states. Maybe that person won't be available.
Yeah.
And if the seller or the renter can't send you pics, WeGoLook.com, bro. Dude, you get a schedule with them. They do like that, bro. And they charge like $80 or $86.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
That's
and they'll get it done for you. So now, do you guys lock you up on a contract over the phone? Or
yep, that's what we always do. We lock them all
always. Okay, good, man. So you guys basically just need boots on the ground to facilitate the showing and to take picture if needed.
Yep. And we usually go on the appointments. Like I said, well, not appointments, but we usually go to take the pictures because we already lock it up usually. So
There you go, man. So now you can use, dude, We Go Look will make it so easy, man. It's like it's like Uber for taking picture for real estate.
That's good. And for scaling when we want to go virtual somewhere too. Like,
yep,
for
absolutely.
Real.
Or maybe you just don't have time to go or whoever it is.
Like
You know what I'm saying?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, man. So let's wrap this up because we're running out of time. I wish I can spend more time with you guys. If you guys need on the whole VA, hit Lon up because I know that she really likes you guys. And obviously, you know, dude, you guys, a lot of times, you know, I seen Gino and JP a couple of times and the relationship that we built, man. I'm sure that she's going to hook you guys up because Lon does not help. Lon does not like talk to me is probably easier than talking to Lon.
We need Lon to train us. Yeah,
because she do not make time for a lot of people. So anyways, how do people reach out, connect with you guys, and do business, man?
Or how do people reach out with us? Yeah, Gino has his real estate Instagram. I need to make a real estate Instagram.
But yeah, my Instagram is Gino_REI_ATL.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll put that in the descriptions.
And then our Facebook is Ferocity Assets. Home buyers, right?
Yeah, for us, yes, home buyers. Where you got a number on there that you can reach us, but you know, why don't you give them your Instagram? Ain't gonna hurt you.
My Instagram, Johnny_Kakis, JOHNNY_Kakis.
Okay.
But it's not real estate based, so don't follow me.
It's acting based.
I'm trying to build that brand for acting.
Right, dude. But hey, you know what? You need exposure. You need people to follow, dude. Because there's some people, you know what? So now, hey, Gino, make sure you send that over to me so I can put it in the description. And for those of you who haven't, dude, I'm telling you, like, JP, check out his movie. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, man.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it. And so, final word, man, for anyone that are starting out that are like, you know, in that stage of not getting their first deal, or they're like college or entrepreneurship or this business, like. Some tips and feedback, man.
Yeah. I would say, just go. You got to pick something that is going to make you happy too. At the same time, we love negotiating with people. You saw that when we did garage sales and everything. So we found that in real estate, and obviously real estate's scalable. So you want to do something you were going to enjoy doing. On top of that, you got to believe in yourself, most importantly, because if you just go in there thinking, I might be able to make 10,000 on this deal, and then this and that, and that I see. You got to think that you will do it. We had no doubt in our mind that we could do this. You know, you got to sell yourself. You got to sell yourself to yourself. You got to know that you're able to do it, right?
I like that.
You know, doing the business. I mean, it doesn't take skill. I mean, it would help, but I mean, skill is not needed. It's all about, you know, work ethic and actually taking action. It's not that hard to comprehend. I mean, you should. What's Max say? You know, imperfect action is better than no action at all. Yeah. And that's great. Just because, just do it. Get it. Don't think about it too much, and you'll learn once you make progress and you do stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Just whatever it costs. He tells you to do something, you know, or whoever it is, you know, buy the bandits, do the bandits. We just bought it. We did it.
Try it out. If it doesn't work, either keep trying or try something else. Whatever works, stick to it.
Yeah. That's right. That's right, dude. The thing, see. For those of you who don't make a move, if you don't make a move, you don't know if the right move or the wrong move. See, when you're standing in one spot, you're like, oh, I don't know if it's the right or the wrong move. Dude, you got to make the move, because even if it's the wrong move, at least you can adjust and say, okay, what I did was wrong, so now I'm going to correct and to do it right. And, you know, the path to your goal or success is not always like this. It's always like this. Okay, I made a wrong move. I go like this. And then eventually you get to your goals. But you know, just I think with everybody, it's just like you got to take that action. You got to make that move, man.
Yes,
you know?
It is exactly, because you know we didn't get our first cold call lead until thousands and thousands of calls. You know, we called thousands of people. All it takes is one call, one person to make that 10,000. Thousands of bandit signs. It just takes one person to, and that's like with anything in life. You know, with acting, you do thousands of auditions. Just takes one to get a movie. Thousands of calls, one to get 10 grand. So just do it.
Just do it. Just like Nike, man. Just do it. All right, JP, JP and Gino, once again, man, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on. You know, sharing all your knowledge motivates and inspire everyone, man. What's up?
That's what I'd like to hear. Yeah, I mean, just hit us up if you have any questions. Hit my Instagram up, and I'll answer anyone's stuff, anything.
Get it going, everybody. Wholesale to millions. Get that King Kong seller script. Get that money.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for everyone's watching. I hope that this interview added a lot of value to you. If it does, please show me and my guest some love. Smash the thumbs up and comment below with any question you got. Until next time, you guys, take care and ciao, bro.